Holy BBs, my name is Brittany, aka Pitbull53, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and by different I mean this is my third video on my channel, but today we're going to be doing kind of a challenge. I've seen Mikey, aka Glam and Gore, do it, I've seen Nikki Tutorials do it, and I'm pretty sure James Charles did it at the beginning of the year. My Zodiac picks my makeup. But I'm going to be doing it with a little bit of a twist. I'll get to that eventually. I've already prepped my skin and everything like that. I'm just going to be going in with my Tarte face tape because I'm going to need something that's a little bit higher coverage than I usually wear. But yeah. So I'm a Gemini. My birthday is May 28th. And yeah, Geminis kind of get a bad rap because we're crazy and we do whatever we really feel like doing. We're a little bit on the adventurous side, but I think we're pretty nice. It's just my opinion being a Gemini. My best friend is also a Gemini. Alright, so now that my foundation is completely on, and it is a little bit late, but I kind of need it to be that late. Again, I will explain later. I usually do my base first when I do my makeup anyways, but especially today is very, very important that I do so. I'm just gonna go in and conceal all of my under eyes and all my problems with face Tarte Shape Tape. So one thing that people say about Geminis is that we are very like back and forth, I guess you could say, which is one of the reasons why our sign is the twins. But I personally, like, there's days when I'm more irritated than others, and there's days when I just like, I'm super bubbly and friendly and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, hi, like, need to do something, play video games, I can't sit still, I'm super happy. And there's other days when I'm just like, I hate the world, I don't want anybody to talk to me. But I think we're kind of all like that. I'm not super big into astrology, and looking up astrology for this video and stuff like that and looking into it, you know, it is interesting. Like, I believe everything happens for a reason. To say, oh, I did it because of my star sign, or oh, it's because I'm a Gemini or something like that I don't really believe in. But, you know, it's kind of weird, like, looking into it. So some of the strengths and traits for Geminis are that we're gentle and affectionate, curious, adaptable. We have the ability to learn quickly and exchange ideas. I mean, I like to think I can adapt quickly, but I don't know. Like, you know how they say you never really know yourself completely? Like, you think that you act one way, but people see it the other. I kind of see it that way. You know, like, I like to believe that I'm gentle and affectionate. I'd like to believe that I am. I try to be anyways. And that I'm adaptable and a quick learner. I mean, I was a hairdresser for 3 years and a bartender for a year and a half so far. So having to learn skills and be on your feet and make quick decisions, like, yeah, I do that, I guess. Some of the weaknesses is that we're nervous, inconsistent, and indecisive. I agree. Very indecisive person. But nervous? I guess I'm anxious. I guess I don't know. It's definitely a weakness, but I feel like everybody nowadays has this slight anxiety, so I don't know if that's necessarily like just because I'm a Gemini, you know. It is an air sign. Geminis typically like music. I love music. Books, magazines, chats with nearly anyone, and short trips around town. Yeah, okay. Geminis dislike being alone, being confined, repetition, and routine. Okay. That one's true. I'll give it that. Getting into a routine does definitely bug me. I don't like being confined. Like, while I'm filming this, it is still during the COVID-19 pandemic and stuff like that. So not really being able to leave my house, especially because my job was at a bowling alley, definitely does kind of mess with you a little bit. I've been passing the time by playing video games and drinking. So me and my mom have been trying to work out, and it has not been going well. So it's like we're doing the Chloe Ting 2-week body shred, right? And it's like every time we get like 2 days in, all of a sudden something comes up where we need to skip a day. So like there was one day my mom went to my brother's house and I was busy, so I didn't go, and we skipped the workout that day, and we're like, oh, we'll just make it up the next day, like that'll be our skip day and we'll just continue on from where we left off. And then we skip the next day because something else comes up, and then it's like, oh shoot, now we have to start over from days 1 and 2 again. And that's always fun, having to start over your workout routine because you keep skipping a day, and it's like, I just need to buckle down and do that. But I'm indecisive because I don't want to do it. I hope everybody is staying safe though, and that eventually we all do get back to our normal lives and at least a little bit of normalcy. But yeah. Now I'm only gonna fill in this eyebrow for now, just because of my idea, and I guess I can start talking about that now. So what a lot of people don't realize is that the Gemini constellation is actually based on two twins, of course. So in Greek mythology, which is what most of the constellations are actually based off of, there were twins that were born named Castor and Pollux. They were half brothers, and sorry, I have notes. In some stories, they were said to have been born out of an egg, which is kind of, it's Greek mythology, so it makes sense. They also had two sisters. So one of their sisters was Helen of Troy, and the other one, I'm gonna butcher her name so badly. Her name was Clytemnestra? And Castor and Pollux came out of one egg, and their two sisters came out of another egg, depending on the story that you read. Castor was mortal, and his father was the king of Sparta, and Pollux was the divine son of Zeus. So what happened was Zeus disguised himself as a swan and wooed their mother. Again, Greek mythology is weird. And she ended up conceiving the quadruplets, but really just two sets of twins, but we're gonna be focusing on Castor and Pollux. So they were half brothers, but they were twins, if that helps anything. And as they grew up, you know, they became very close. They were very tight-knit, even though they weren't full-blood brothers. Castor and Pollux's sister, Helen of Troy, got kidnapped. And Castor and Pollux were the ones that went, or were some of the people that went to go save her. So they saved her, and they ended up taking her captor's mother as like retribution, and made her Helen's maid. Greek mythology is weird. And later on, Castor and Pollux ended up falling in love with these two sisters who were actually betrothed to their cousins. I'm getting there. They ended up kidnapping the sisters that they fell in love with, and the sisters fell in love with them. They had kids, and their cousins came to try to get the girls back. When that happened, Castor and Pollux ended up getting into a fight with their cousins and stuff like that. And Castor ended up losing his life and being killed by the cousin, while Pollux was protected by the gods because he was Zeus's child and ended up living. And one of the cousins died, or both the cousins died. I'm not 100% sure on everything. Again, it depends on the story that you read and stuff like that. Castor goes to his brother Zeus, Castor goes to his father Zeus and asks him if he can give half of his mortality to Castor, or half of his immortality to Castor. This way they could be together forever. Zeus agreed, and they became the constellation of Gemini, so they could be together forever. I love that story. I love parts of that story, like the fact that Castor is now with his brother, according to the story, forever and stuff like that, and they bond. But I think it's a really interesting way of a constellation becoming a thing. So that brings me to my makeup today. I'm doing mine based off of Castor. He was a mortal who turned into a constellation because of his brother. So I'm going to be doing a half and half of, or half and a quarter, 3/3 and a quarter? 3/3 and a quarter of my face being mortal, or, you know, normal, natural, not really natural, but more subdued. And I'm gonna use special effects with liquid latex and cotton to build a prosthetic for the quarter of my face and make it look like it's kind of peeling off to transform into the constellation. Yes, if that makes sense. I kind of think that's it. So if I'm quiet for the rest of the video,
I'm gonna go off camera, do my mascara, and let my camera cool down, and I will be right back. I'm gonna be using liquid latex and cotton like I said earlier. So I just brought you in a little bit. Wow, really? Here we go. So I brought you in a little bit just so see what I'm doing. Ew, why did I say it like that? Yeah. When you're using cotton and latex, you want to make sure that you're using a little bit. This is still too much, but you want to make sure you're doing a little bit. This way, as you work, you're kind of taking it and pulling it away this way, and then you reapply the liquid latex over it. This way, it kind of like you're paper macheing your face, basically. I don't know how else to explain it. But yeah. I think I'm gonna start right here. Now, this is gonna hurt me because I already messed up, but when you're doing it, you want to be careful of your baby hairs because it will rip your baby hairs out. And you can't be afraid to get messy when you use liquid latex and cotton. You just kind of lay it and pull it, and I wait for it to dry a little bit before I actually put any more on, just because of the way cotton and latex is. Latex will stick to itself and tend to lift, which is what I don't really want to happen, but at the same time you want to pull this away gently. This way it'll form a little bit of an edge without making it so you have a gap in your skin. I'm probably gonna rip this up. Here it is. Like I said, it tends to pull it off if I don't heat a little bit before applying it. But then I just lightly put it back where I wanted it in the first place and just kind of manipulate it back into place. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. When it all dries, I'm gonna go back in with my foundation, cover it up the best that I can, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of coloring to it to make it look like it's a little bruised. This way it's kind of like it's being pulled away almost. Okay, so I did let it dry a little bit, and then I did put a little bit of my foundation onto it, and then now I'm just gonna go in with one of my brushes and more of like a neutral eyeshadow palette and kind of go in and add a little bit of more coloring to it to kind of make it look more like skin as opposed to just something sticking off of my face. So what I'm gonna do is, after everything's colored in on the outside, I'm gonna go in on the inside and make it kind of look like the galaxy that you see in like normal pictures with like purple and a little bit of blue and a little bit of pink. But I do have to do a black base under it just to make it look like it's popping a little bit instead of just spreading a bunch of purple on my face, just to give it the coloring that I need and to make the colors pop the way that I want them to. I'm gonna go in with a dark brown and kind of shade it a little bit. Just right under where it's folding. And I think I'm gonna go in with this warmer brown. It does have a little bit of shimmer in it, so I'm kind of not gonna use a lot of it. I'm just gonna go in on this side, so again, it looks like it's being pulled from this way. And then I'm gonna go in with my Jeffree Star Weirdo, and like I said, I do need a black base to make the purples pop the way that I want them to, so I'm gonna fill in this entire area with the black. Now I'm gonna go in with the Bloodlust palette from Jeffree and go in with Blood Queen, which is this one right here. I'm just gonna pack it in. It'd probably be easier to do this with paint, but I don't have paint, so now I'm just going in with Deviant, which is this light, kind of colder or cooler purple, and adding it kind of in random spots, but not really. When I think of the galaxy, I think of like those colors that I used to, or those pictures that I used to see when I was a kid, where it's like you have dark purples, you have lighter purples, you have some pink, a little bit of blue, like kind of just randomly placed, but not randomly placed. I'm gonna go in with Vile Serpent for a little bit of that blue, a little bit of High King. And this is gonna be our stars. It's gonna be our stars and constellation. Okay, so I'm gonna go throw on mascara and do a kind of neutralish lip, and I will be right back, and maybe a little bit of highlight. And then I'll be right back for the final look, and we'll see how it comes out. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I'm actually really happy with the way that it came out. So as you can see, I have the constellation right here, and I did end up putting, you know, the Gemini symbol on one of my cheeks just to kind of tie it in all together. But I really like the way that this came out, and I'm proud to be a Gemini. Even if people think we're absolutely nuts, even though my hair doesn't want to stay on the side that I need it to. I'm so happy, and I hope everybody stays safe, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye guys.